here with Peppe Merolla Live. Free tips. Today, I'm not really teaching today. It's my day off, so I decide to go live on Facebook again for all my drummers, friends, brothers, and sisters out there. And today I'll be talking about FLAMS, which are very, very important for us, for drummers. So I'm going to first explain what FLAMS is, what is FLAM, what FLAMS are. So FLAM is, for instance, if you have a note, okay, like one quarter note, and I want a FLAM, quarter note FLAM, with the left hand, you play the first note, which is the FLAM, which is before the quarter note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to apply the FLAM with the left hand, which precedes the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, and vice versa. If I'm playing quarter note or 8 notes with the left hand, and I want those notes FLAM, so I will play FLAM. I will play FLAM with the right hand, and then you can alternate right and left hand like this, which this is, those are single FLAMs, okay, single FLAMs. So here in California it's like 9:20 in the morning. In New York City would be 12, in the East Coast would be 12:20 almost a.m. So that's what we're supposed to do, waking up in the morning, and the first thing will be practicing, especially this period of time. You know, we got nothing to do. So after breakfast, we get nice and comfortable. As you guys can see, I'm very comfortable here, you know, with my snare drum and a practice pad, my aquarium through bounce practice pad, and start practicing and working on different exercise. Today, I'm going to explain and show you how I work when I want to practice, you know, FLAMS. So let's talk about single FLAMS. Here it is. Enrico Cestari, ciao Enrico, un abbraccio forte a te e famiglia, ti voglio un bene pazzesco, un abbraccio, grazie. So if you guys have any question, please feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Thanks for following. Following also, please follow my Facebook fan page, my YouTube channel, subscribe. There are a lot of videos there that you guys can enjoy. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy that. It's a lot of videos of me giving some free tips for drummers. Also, some of the videos, concerts, you know, and gigs. Check out my CDs online, Peppe Merolla. I got 4 records out. So, but let's talk about FLAMS here today, okay? Daniele Capuzzi, ciao Daniele. Oh, figurati Daniele. È un piacere. Spero stai bene. Un abbraccio forte forte e continua sempre a studiare, sempre, vedi? Io ho 50 anni, va bene? E sto sempre lì, mi alzo la mattina, questo è il mio pane quotidiano. Studiare è la cosa più bella, soprattutto in questo periodo delicato. So especially in this very delicate time right now of COVID. There's no gigs, we can't travel, so Practice. We're supposed to wake up in the morning, think positive, and do what we love. Practice. Practice our instrument. Can be drums, trumpet, anything. Wake up in the morning, spend time with your family, stay healthy, wear a mask, hand sanitizers, social distance, very important. So, but when you're home, besides all of that, besides the family, which comes first, health and family comes first, practice. This is what, that's what we love. That's what we do, and that's who we are. So, flams, single flams here. That's how I practice flams. Also, I also like to try to duplicate the same sound of the single flam, which is this, right? With one end. Try to get the exact sound. Okay? So you do that slow for a little bit, for a while. And then starting with quarter note, that's very simple. Everybody does that. It's a very common rhythm. Uh, Quarter notes, 8 note triplets, 16th. Okay? See what I just did? I was also alternating between this single flam, with two hands, alternating between two hands and one hand, and try to replicate the same sound. Okay? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because it's a little faster. But again, you want to push yourself always. You want to challenge yourself always. So don't be afraid of challenging yourself. The most important thing, you know, when we practice, at least, what it works for me, is to challenge myself. Okay? So don't be afraid of making a mistake. Don't be afraid of saying, maybe I can't do it because you don't feel it. The thing is, you got to feel it. The only way to find out if you can do it is just go for it, you know? And then what happens is, if you find out that you can't really play it that fast, slow it down. Slow it down a little bit, just like in this case. Look what I do. There you go. I go down to 90 BPM with the metronome. Then play single flam, 8 note triplets. See? And then another thing I want to talk about, which is very important. If we are playing, for instance, a slow tempo, okay, and we're playing flams, we're working on flams. On a slow tempo, if I'm playing at this tempo, one, two, three, four, the flam is not going to be, the flam is it's a little larger. You got to play the flam in order of what the tempo is. Doesn't mean that because you play the flam, you play the embellishment, which is like this. The flam, it doesn't have to really be that tight. You have to play the flam, in order to what the tempo is. So if I'm playing at this tempo, see, it's larger. The flam, between the flam and the note, there's more space because we're playing a slower tempo. You know, I don't know if I make sense. See somebody else there watching and writing. Hello, Brian. Hello, Brian. Brian Kinsella. Hello. So, like I said, I'm going to do this one more time and then I move on with different flams, okay? And try to play different figuration, using the single flams. Now, once you do that, actually, I encourage all of you guys right now, since I'm live, if you want, you can also get your practice pad if you did already do it. I'm sure you guys already did. some of the people, because usually drummers, that's what I do. When I see someone live that is teaching or is, showing some stuff, the first thing I do, I grab my practice pad and the drumsticks right away, and a piece of paper and a pencil to take some notes. That's what I suggest. Now I'm gonna go, you know, and show you those ideas. Hey Barry, how you doing, Barry? Good to see you, my friend. Nice to read. Hope all is well. Best to the wife, and I will call. I will call soon. I'll call the wife soon. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's been a tough time for me. Very busy. A lot of things going on, and I know I have to call. I have to call. So here I am again. No books. Okay, we don't need books for this. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you how I practice flams. That's we don't need any books for that. So Flem Accent. Now, let me explain Flem Accent first. Now, Flem Accent is a triplets, 8-note triplets. It's a rudiments, okay? Which is this. You play 8-note triplets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the sticking is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. So, at the beginning of each triplets, we're gonna add a flam with the left hand. So if we start with the right hand, the flam is gonna be with the left hand. So, see, I'm gonna do it very slow. I'm over exaggerating right now. I'm going like this because I wanted to show you what the motion is, and I got the microphone right in the way. Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you here. Okay? So here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here. Left hand. And that's how I practice my Flem accent. I don't know if you guys noticed the motion, which I always in every video talk about this. I wanted to remind you guys um, how important it is, the coordination, the motion, the perfect movement. There is no perfection, okay? But how to focus really and how important it is, the up and down stroke. So I'm going to give you this idea, this example, excuse me, of this motion, up and down stroke, playing slow. In that way, you guys can see the motion, how big it is, the motion. And then, as long as we start playing faster, this motion gets smaller and smaller. But you can feel it in your bones. Up and down stroke, this motion right here never leaves. It will never leave your body. Your body. It will always stay inside of you. It's about the concept and understanding of the body motion. And that's what it really allows me to play fast. To play fast. I mean, playing in different tempos. See, a lot of people they can't really play that fast because they're missing this. It starts from the shoulder and goes always down to your hand. And it's all connected again, 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 and again. Up and down stroke, all connected to your, down from the shoulder to your hand. And then wrist and finger control. Very important. So I'm going to play single flam, very slow, with the motion, the up and down, just to show. I'm going to over exaggerating, just to show you what the motion is. And now this motion gets smaller and smaller as fast as I play. Check it out. See? Now it's getting bigger. See? That's the idea. That's what it works for me. The natural body movements, because this is part of the. It's a natural body movements. You can avoid it, and if you do it wrong, the thing is, if you do it wrong, you can really pursue it, the exercise, and play correctly, and be able to execute any rudiments, any of them, you know, at a certain tempo. This is a very important part. I know it's kind of boring. It looks like, oh my goodness, Pepe is repeating the same thing over and over again. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Because as long as you can sit down, as long as you play, and you can play at a certain tempo and move your hands right, you have to listen to my words. Then your destiny is to listen to my words. You have to listen to what I say every day. If you cannot play at a certain tempo, that means something is wrong. You're doing something wrong, and I'm trying to help. Music is about sharing. Okay? Hello, Gabriele. Ciao. So, um, Flem Accent. I also like to mix this, this, you know, sticking with a single one. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that and show you what it is. I like to work on that. I like to exercise and work on that because I'm also at the same time while I'm working on a Flem accent, I'm also working on a finger control. Try to replicate the same sound of this sticking with this. Okay. Now, I also like to do I used to. I remember a long time ago. So let me rephrase this. The Blue Danube by Strauss. You remember it's a waltz, and every time I remember when I started, long time ago. I was like 16, 17 years old, and I remember the Blue Danube by Strauss, which goes do 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 dum dum boom boom do 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 boom 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 boom. So I gotta tell you this story because it's funny. At that age, when I was 16, 17 years old, I got a gig in the Balera. And La Balera is a place where a lot of waltz, lisho people, waltz, tango, begin, marimba, rumba. They used to go and dance, have dinner and dance. Now, I learned so much from that gig. First of all, because when you play that type of music, you have to play it right at the right tempo, or otherwise the dancer, while they're dancing, if you play faster, okay, or you don't know really how to play the mazurka, doppio passo, double step, the doppio passo, double robles, they're going to turn around. They stop dancing. They stop dancing. So anyway, on this particular song, the Blue Danube, goes ba-da-da-da-da, dun dun, bum bum, bo-do-do-dee-ding, ding ding, bum bum, bo-do-do-dee-ding, ding ding, dun dun. So I used to play. I used to practice at home, not when I was working on the gig, or otherwise I would get fired. But you know, um, I used to think of that song and work on a single flams. So let me know what you think now. So hear this. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 to, for some reason, I used to think of this song and work on a different, actually different sticking, but using still, the Flem accent. So, like this case, you can also change sticking. Check this out. Boom, 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 boom. See, that's a great exercise. Boom, 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 boom. So I can alternate between boom, 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 between the single flam at the end, or maybe with single with Flem accent. Okay, so it's just a way for you not to get bored, but using different sticking, different flams, place the flam in different places. You know, and mix the whole thing. Bum, 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 bum. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one. And again, thanks for watching, guys. My name is Peppe Merolla. Thanks for following me. Make sure you follow my fan page also as well, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, there are a lot of videos there for you to enjoy, a lot of free tips for drummers. Also, check out my website at www.peppemerolla.com. You can see all my bio, all my records, and all my news. I mean, there is no news right now. I had to postpone my tour. Anyway, my tour for my CD, the CD Happy Times, I had to postpone the whole tour. So, right now, I'm teaching full time. So, check out my website at www.peppemerolla.com. Let's see. Here it is. The next flam. Flam Paradiddle. Flam Paradiddle. Oh my goodness, how hard it is to play and work on the Flam Paradiddle. So here it is. Flam Paradiddle, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for those out there, for you guys, if you guys do not know what Flam Paradiddle is, okay, it's just a paradiddle, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, adding a flam, okay, at the beginning. So if you start with the right hand, right, left, right, right, the flam is going to be with the left before you start the paradiddle. So, and then flam with the right and starts with the left. That's a flam paradiddle. So, okay. If you guys have any questions, Please let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Remember, this is a free tips for drummers. I would love to help. Don't be shy. Again, as you can see, tips are accepted, but not required. You can, if you feel like, to support the music and musicians that right now they're not really gigging a lot because of COVID. COVID, COVID, COVID. So anyway, you can PayPal me at pepporijazz@yahoo.com. There's underneath, there's all the information scrolling below. So, so tips are accepted but not required. You don't have to do it. So, Flam Paradiddle. And this feels so good. Then I like to connect, playing the 60 note, 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1, between the Flam Paradiddle and then right hand, 2 3 4. Just be creative, 5 6. Ooh. That's beautiful. That's finger control right there. So you can practice and exercise while you're playing Flam Paradiddle. Also no finger control. It's hard for me to talk and play, but I'm trying my best. I'm getting used to it. So. So here it is. And then, once you get it down, you get a nice, Flam Paradiddle. Then you can start mixing, like I did right now. Flem Accent, finger control, with all different paradiddle. I'm going to show you what I do. That's how I practice when I'm home. Now again, to do all this, you need a great technique. You gotta, you need to have a nice wrist finger control, up and down stroke. You gotta know exactly how to move your hands correctly, because I can show you all this stuff, and if you cannot do it, that means you need guidance. You need someone who's going to show you how to develop your technique, and how to work on your technique, because that's very important. Technique is no other than a bunch of tools that we put in the backpack and pull them out when we need it. Okay? So it's very important for everything, for sound, dynamics, technique, finesse. I always encourage everyone to really practice every day, and if you don't have a teacher that shows you that, that show you the right way, you will never be able to do it. The only way to do it is to get serious on your instrument, know exactly who you are, say, okay, that's my limit, that's what I know, I need to know better, I want to know more. So you have to invest on yourself, like we all do, you know? So here it is. Flem Paradiddle, Flem Accent, uh, single flams, and single strokes. Let's see. See, and that's what I do. And then you can also add for your left hand when you work on flams. You can also add those type of single stroke with a, you know, with separate on with separate hands. Flam paradiddle. Flem accent. Like I said, always challenge yourself, which is very, very important to challenge yourself. That was 180 BPM, what I just did. And today we worked on sub 4. We talk about single flams, Flem Accents, Flem Paradiddle. Now, one thing I want to say, maybe I will do that in the next video, maybe. Actually, no, I'm going to do it now. The reason, the purpose, once we practice all this technique, rudiments, and all so forth, the idea is to create music with it. Okay? Like 5-stroke roll, all the rudiments, all of them. 7-stroke roll. And then, anything drags. It's not just like, it's not that. Think of a phrase, for example. That's what I usually do. I'm going to take this one off, which, great pad, by the way, by Aquarian, called Through Bounce. They also make those little ones, which is the Super Pad Mini, beautiful. And the Super Pad's the big one, as you guys can see, still by Aquarian, which is wonderful. So, and you can hear the tone also. Okay, so see. So I'm going to do play a mix, of all those rudiments, because I'm not going to say, I don't think that's the right way of saying it. It's not that I'm going to play rudiment. I'm going to play some music now. And automatically, see, that's the reason, and I believe that 100%. The reason why I say that practicing a lot and have a great technique will help us to express ourselves musically when we play. It's because of this. Like if I'm thinking of a phrase, Freddie Hubbard phrase. See, a lot of drummers, they listen to drummers, Philly Joe, Max Rowe, which is great. We all do that. But I also like to think of a phrasing of Freddie Hubbard, Joe Anderson, Coltrane, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie. Listen to those phrases and just play it on the drums, on the snare drum, or just the whole drum set. You can orchestrate all of those on a drum set, in my honest opinion, of course. Zaun, I wanted to thank you so much for yesterday. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the tip. I really appreciate that. Thanks for your support. Thank you very much. I would like to thank Christy Bernardo and all the people who have been very nice to me, taping me for those lessons. Hey, I'm just trying to help, and I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. So, like I said, I'm going to give you a little example. A little example of what I'm talking about. Thinking about the phrasing, about the music, okay? So, I'm going to, here. 1, 2, using the dynamic, which is very important. From Paradiddle. So, in other words, what I just did, I was not really thinking about, you know, Paradiddle or Flem Paradiddle or Flem Accent or drag. I was just thinking about the music. So this is just like it's a different ball game. That's why I say it's very important to practice your technique to be able to express yourself musically. Because one thing is practicing a paradiddle, but you have to make sense musically. You want to apply those sticking, those rudiments musically. You want to approach them in a musical way, you know? It's not just like, no, I can play the same paradiddle with no accent. Then check out the difference. That's very important. And then, I don't know. I don't know about that. The first one was good. See? Now, what I did on the snare drum before, that little solo, you know, I was, like I said, I was thinking in my mind, I got inspired, you know, hooked up on a bebop kind of thing, you know, Buddy Rich or Louis Bellson, you know, Max Roach. But there is many ways to, you know, to apply, to express yourself, and it's also, it depends of the musicians that you play with, how much they inspire you musically speaking, you know. Music is like conversation. If someone who tells me this, I'll go like. So that's you know, that's the answer. That's the way I see it. But if somebody comes to me and says, I go like, it all depends. Music is like it is a conversation. So we learn all those technique, practice technique, you know, in order to express ourselves musically and to have a musical conversation with the other musicians. So the reason why I'm saying that is because some people, they say, this guy is always on the snare drum. Again, I'm going to repeat that again. if I am always on the snare drum and I always repeat the same thing like practice technique, this is like a language, it's a grammar. If you don't know the grammar, how can you ever write a poem? There's no way in the world you can write a beautiful poem. You can have a great ideas, but you don't know how to express them yourself. You don't know how to communicate those ideas with the others. Okay? So that was a little example of what, the goal should be once we practice the technique. We have a good technique and everything, but now we have to apply, you know, uh, uh, the musicality. We have to, play all those rhythms and technique, use it with the music that we hear inside our head, in our heart, you know. And then another thing, a little tip that I want to give uh, before I go: 8 notes. Okay, 8 notes right there. We practice that at home. Dynamic. There you go. Then the same thing now. Let's think of a swing field. It's like you want to play the simple beat. It's like you want to play the simple beat. Think of a bass line. Have that bass line right in your hand, in your head, you know. This is very important. Listen, besides practicing the technique and that, which is very important, it's like telling the pianist not to practice, scales or intervals. How can ever a great pianist be able to play great piano music without knowing the technique? Don't get confused. Sometimes you hear some great jazz piano players, for example, that they sound like they don't have technique. See, but that, I think that's wrong. That's really wrong, because those guys, in order to play in a certain way, they develop their own technique. So you can't say, well, that playing, that type of play, is not true. The great Art Tatum, Oscar Peterson, those guys, man, they were practicing piano shit out of it. Excuse my French. Oh, but Oscar Peterson, Art Tatum, Rick Gartland, those guys, man, they practiced the piano. They knew about technique. They knew, big time. Like Joe Pass. guitar player, and many other great pianists, like Chick Corea, for example. Chick Corea is another one. Chick Corea comes from classical training. He's a fantastic pianist, classical pianist. He's an amazing musician, you know, one of my heroes. Keith Jarrett, even though I don't like Keith Jarrett, um, Keith Jarrett's attitude and what he did a couple of things that I didn't like. So, but anyway, I have to say the truth. I have to tell the truth. Great musician, you know, fantastic piano player. Bill Evans. Bill Evans. Bill Evans. Just the man. Please. Those people, man, they practice their butt off. You know? And same thing, Philly Joe Jones. Philly Joe Jones, Art Blakey, Max Roach, Billy Higgins, and so on and on and on. We can go on and on and on and on. You know, those people, they knew the instrument. Okay? So, I hope this video was helpful to many of you guys out there and helped all of you who needs help on flams and approach. My name is Peppe Merolla. Thanks for following. Check out my fan page, Facebook fan page. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my YouTube channel, Pepori Jazz, Peppe Merolla. Subscribe. There's a lot of videos there. Check out my website at www.peppemerolla.com. And again, thanks for being so kind. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. And keep drumming. Music is life. Peppe Merolla here. Thank you. Bye now.